Ever watch him walk away and wonder how he's breathing while you're choking on the silence? Have you tortured yourself replaying his casual goodbye, convinced he's already moved on, already happy, while you're left holding the rubble? Here's the twisted punchline, the secret truth he'll never tell you. Every mile he puts between you detonates inside his own ribcage. He's not running from you. He's sprinting from a mirror he can't stand to look into. He's fleeing the one person who saw past the carefully constructed facade and into the soul he himself has forgotten how to access. And the farther he runs, the louder the glass shatters behind him, the shards embedding themselves deeper with every step. Tonight, we're not just talking about heartbreak. We're cracking open the 4 hidden gears of his internal machinery, the ones grinding him down while he forces himself to stay in motion. Once you understand the mechanics of his escape, you stop blaming yourself for the noise it creates. The agony of inauthenticity. The first reason his suffering is a slow burn is this: running forces him to wear a skin that never truly fit. From a young age, most men who carry this divine masculine energy were conditioned, not nurtured. They got high-fived for stats, not for feelings. Be the fastest on the field, the top earner in the office, the guy who never flinches, the stoic rock for everyone else. The rule book was simple. Just don't be needy, don't be vulnerable, don't be too much. So when a soul-level love shows up, a love that demands realness, that sees his cracks and isn't scared, every internal alarm blares at once. Warning, unknown terrain, no spreadsheet for this, abort mission. The fastest way to silence that deafening siren is to retreat to the old, familiar script. He buries himself in back-to-back meetings, reverts to emoji-only texts, and reactivates dating apps that keep genuine human connection at a safe, superficial thumb distance. He's back in the role he knows how to play. The trouble is, the body is a terrible liar. It sniffs out inauthenticity faster than a dog sniffs out bacon. While his mind is telling him he's in control, his body is staging a full-scale rebellion. His shoulders turn to bricks of tension. His jokes, once charming, now land with the hollow thud of canned laughter. Sleep becomes a nightly game of roulette he always loses. Inside his head, a primal scream is building. I'm betraying the only thing that ever felt real. But on the outside, he just keeps promising a coffee that he has no intention of ever scheduling. This profound split between his soul's truth and his daily actions hums in his very marrow. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance. Mystics call it false king fatigue. The label doesn't matter. The body keeps a running tab. It manifests as adrenal burnout that no amount of sleep can fix, a thyroid that nosedives without explanation, a knot in his shoulder that no masseuse can ever untangle because it's not made of muscle, but of unspoken truths. And because he can't name the real source of the ache, he pins it on the most convenient target: you. His wounded logic concludes, if I hadn't met her, I wouldn't be feeling this chaos. I'd be fine. The devastating irony is that he has never been less fine. Every single dawn he spends living outside his own truth costs him another fraction of his life force. Stack 6 months of that corrosive dissonance, and you've got a man who can bench press spreadsheets and close million-dollar deals, but can't watch a sunset without an inexplicable urge to punch the sky. The weight of spiritual grief. The second reason his running is a private hell is this: feelings you shovel down don't just die. They ferment. they turn toxic. What he refuses to feel, he is forced to carry. Twin flame lore might call these chakra cords thick with stagnant energy. Therapy might call it unprocessed emotional overflow. It's the same principle. Whatever grief, confusion, and love he won't consciously digest doesn't just vanish. It pools inside his own system first. Picture pouring wet cement into a balloon. It gets heavier by the second and hardens from the inside out. That is spiritual grief, the unshed tears turning to concrete around his own heart. He starts to notice it in bizarre ways. Suddenly, his favorite Spotify playlist makes him feel nauseous. He can't get through a season finale of a show he loved. Nostalgia ambushes him in the middle of the workday, a phantom pain for a life he almost had, a future he's now actively dismantling. His friends, operating on the same old programming, will shrug and say, "Bro, you're just adulting." It's stressful, but it's not. His soul keeps sliding eviction notices under his door, and he keeps sweeping them under the rug. So the universe turns up the volume. The unprocessed grief begins to manifest physically. It's the sudden migraines that blur his vision on the drive home. It's the jolt of panic on the motorway that feels like a heart attack. It's that random Tuesday night, lying on his office carpet after everyone else has gone home, wondering if this is what dying feels like. He's not dying. He's grieving in Dolby surround sound, and he's the only one in the theater. And here's the kicker. The divine feminine energy often has built-in release valves. You can cry it out, talk it out in circles with friends, journal, dance, or scream into a pillow. You can transmute the pain. The masculine coding he inherited treats sorrow like computer malware, a threat to be quarantined, deleted, and then restart the system as if nothing happened. But grief is a shapeshifter. Slam the door on it, and it will slip through the window disguised as cutting sarcasm, a reckless gambling habit, or a string of hollow hookups where he can't be physically present because his soul would rather be holding you. Each one of these fillers, each distraction, rips another scoop out of his spirit while simultaneously convincing him that he's handling it. And when the dam finally cracks, because it always cracks, he's too hollowed out to even remember why he built it in the first place. The hell of unworthiness. The third gear grinding him down is the heaviest of all. Distance doesn't delete shame, it hands it a jetpack. Underneath the bravado of every runner, the same graffiti is scrawled on his soul. I'm not good enough. This belief is the original wound, the one that predates you. It could be about money, about his emotional vocabulary, about not having a six-pack, or about the father he never had. Whatever its specific form, your presence, your love, and your acceptance acted like a floodlight, illuminating that deep-seated insecurity. Running looks like an act of power, of him taking control. In reality, it's a desperate 24/7 shift trying to outrun an ankle monitor called unworthiness. Picture him at 2 a.m. The city is quiet. He can't sleep. He's scrolling through your Instagram profile, his chest split open like fruit. He sees a picture of you smiling, laughing with friends, living. And the voice of his shame whispers, "Look how bright she is. She deserves galaxies, and I can't even keep succulents alive." In that moment of profound self-rejection, he makes an internal contract, a twisted vow he mistakes for honor. My distance is my gift to her. I am protecting her from my inadequacy. Every mile he creates becomes a down payment on this narrative, proving to himself that he's sacrificial, noble, the silent hero who loved her enough to let her go. But the small print on that contract never lists the interest rate. Each step he takes away from you compounds his own self-loathing. Groundbreaking scans from Harvard show that social rejection lights up the exact same pain centers in the brain as a broken arm. The agony is physically real. So when he says something like, "I ghosted because I felt cornered," the accurate translation is, "You were standing too close to the wound that says, I'm defective and I had no cast for it." Fleeing was the only form of self-protection I knew. Because this wound predates you, no block button on his phone can cauterize it. The farther he sprints, the bigger and fatter the story grows in his mind. She's thriving now because I left. Imagine the wreck she'd be if I ever came back. It becomes a self-perpetuating loop of shame that only quits when his knees finally buckle, which they often do in month 4, in a random parking lot that tastes of gasoline and profound regret. The sacred breakdown. The fourth and final reason is the most paradoxical. His eventual collapse is the universe's final courtesy call. It's an act of grace disguised as destruction. There comes an hour, very often it's around 4:17 a.m., the soul's twilight. When the running short's out, the dull ache in his chest suddenly sinks with the crystal clear memory of your laugh, and something inside him trips. This isn't poetic. An actual circuit breaker in his psyche flips. The distractions stop working. He can't scroll social media. He can't lift the weights. He can't drink it quiet anymore. The noise inside is louder than any noise outside. It feels like death, but it's actually life, bulldozing the concrete he built around his heart to lay down new pipework. Indigenous cultures called this a shamanic dismantling. The warrior has to metaphorically die to himself in order to journey inward and fetch the soul piece he left hiding under the trauma rock. Modern psychology might label it an ego fatigue surrender. The instructions are the same, regardless of the name. Sit on the floor, stop moving, and finally feel the inferno you swore wasn't there. The first night of this surrender is primal. It's teeth-chattering, gut-wrenching sobs that have been held back for years. It's long, rambling apology texts typed out with trembling thumbs and then deleted. It's a wild, inexplicable craving for the cereal he ate as a child, a desperate reach for a time before the armor was forged. But then, dawn rolls in, and for the first time since he ran, something soft re-enters his system. He takes a breath, a real one, without the crushing weight of the armor. That's the moment the mirror you've been carrying for him finally shows him the truth. And it's not your face he sees, but his own raw, aching humanness. He finally clocks the crater he carved in your life, and he realizes with devastating clarity that it's a perfect twin of the hole he's been carrying inside himself since 2nd grade. And for the first time, he doesn't duck. He doesn't run. He just looks. The road back to himself starts right there on that floor. It's a road paved with therapy receipts, with vulnerable voice notes to friends that he'll record and maybe never send. With long, solitary walks where every falling leaf seems to pronounce your name. He won't just apparition into your driveway the next day. He has to rebuild trust with himself first. But the marathon of running from his own soul ends the very second his surrender begins. Type, "I see you" in the comments if you're dropping the weight of self-blame tonight. Your comment becomes a lighthouse for another woman who is sitting in the dark right now, thinking she's solo in this ache. And if you want my free quick rundown of the 5 text stages he'll likely hit while crawling his way out of this spiral, the link is right below. It's a gift. No sign up, just pass it on. So no, he's not skipping through sunlit meadows while you feel like you're drowning. He is hemorrhaging invisibly. He is in a race against his own soul, and it's a race no one ever wins. His running inflated the very wound he never had the courage to show you. Knowing this won't magically erase your 3 a.m. missing him, but it can fundamentally flip the script you tell yourself. His distance was never a scorecard on your worth or your lovability. It was the loudest, most desperate SOS his shame could possibly dial. So keep polishing your own mirror. Keep tending to your own heart. The clearer your own reflection shines, the faster he will be able to spot what he's actually been running from all along. And when both of your mirrors are finally ready to reflect nothing but love, distance becomes mathematically impossible.